Hello and welcome, I'm Ankit Ruteja and you are watching Tech It Out. This week, find out why once again Apple has given in to government demands in China, how Ukraine is using technology to detect landmines, and we tell you everything that matters about the new Pixel 8 smartphone. Let's get started. One more time, Apple is ceding to pressure from the Chinese government. The tech company may soon have to remove some of the App Store's most popular apps in China. We get you more details in this report.
China has been expanding oversight of mobile app usage over the past several years. It requires app stores to submit business details to the government. This is the latest. Apple has now bowed to pressure from China. The Cupertino giant is now enforcing new checks on apps in China. The company wants new apps to show proof of a Chinese government license before their release on its China App Store. The tech giant has joined local rivals that had adopted the policy years earlier to meet Beijing's tightening state regulations. Understand that Apple's compliance status could affect the accessibility of hundreds of thousands of apps on its App Store in China, such as X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Telegram, which became popular during protests against COVID-19 lockdowns last year. The decision by Apple comes after China further tightened its oversight over mobile apps in August, but it seems developers are not happy. Many developers have taken to social media to voice concern over Apple's decision. Some iPhone users in China are posting on X that they may need to start using Apple accounts from other countries to access their favorite apps. Well, what's even more important to note here is that this is not the first time Apple has done something to woo the Chinese authorities. On various occasions, Apple has been called out for its compliance with Chinese laws on censorship and data storage. In recent years, the company has made changes to its products to address Beijing's concerns. In 2022, the company limited the use of AirDrop feature on iPhones in China. Why? Because protesters in the country were found to be using the AirDrop feature to spread posters opposing Xi Jinping and the Chinese government. In 2021, Apple gave the Chinese government control over local data. In 2019, the Cupertino-based tech giant removed the Taiwan flag from emoji keyboards for users in China and Hong Kong. Over the past several years, tens of thousands of apps have disappeared from Apple's Chinese App Store, including foreign news services, gay dating, and encrypted messaging apps. Apple loves to talk about values, yet it sees no problem in giving in to the escalating demands from Chinese authorities, no matter how outlandish they are. Isn't this hypocritical?
Russia has turned Ukraine into a giant minefield. It is estimated that around 30% of Ukraine has been contaminated with landmines. What's even worse, removing them is proving to be difficult, but it seems technology could prove to be of some help. Here is more.
Ukraine's military and civilians are facing a deadly problem. Landmines, potentially hundreds of thousands of them, are scattered across roads, buried in fields, and concealed in devastated cities. Today, Ukraine is said to be the most heavily mined country in the world. Interestingly, Kyiv has come up with various ways to deal with this persistent and deadly threat. Look at this. It may look like a regular drone, but it is not. What you see on your screen is a metal-detecting drone that is flying over East Ukrainian farm fields. What does this drone do? It looks for mines. Yevhen Polyachenko, who is a geophysicist at Ukraine's Academy of Sciences and a demining volunteer, says that their metal detector could detect iron-containing objects even up to half a meter underground. The drone can even detect mines faster than sappers with the usual detecting equipment.
The metal detector the drone carries will see any iron-containing object. A certain advantage, for example, of using magnetometers, such as in the one they use over the coils of metal detectors, is that it can detect anomalies at depth.
In fact, a humanitarian demining fund has used the technology to demine farm fields in Ukraine's eastern Kharkiv region, as farmers all over the country have started sowing winter wheat. The idea behind the new system is to develop a fast and reliable demining algorithm with drones and sappers. Well, that's just one way of detecting landmines. Ukrainian volunteers along with the army have also come up with a homemade demining machine. They have converted a run-of-the-mill excavator into a demining powerhouse. This machine is so efficient that it can blow up any and all types of mines. Wondering how it works? The excavator is fitted with chains around the rotating axis. While rotating, the chains hit the mines, and the impact could be like you are hitting it with something that weighs 1,000 kilograms. Any mine, whether anti-tank or anti-personnel, will detonate. Also, the machinery can be equipped with knives and blades that can plow the soil.
After each and every detonation, the operator should drive backwards and check the chains or knives that are mounted onto the shield. If they are damaged, they must be replaced.
Greatly inspired by the World War II Sherman tanks, this demining vehicle is still under inspection. While a remote driver can control the machine with a joystick, developers want to ensure the driver's cabin can stay safe if an explosion goes off under the excavator's threads. Ukraine is now working to secure access to more mine clearance equipment.
It's that month of the year when Google comes up with its next generation smartphone. Well, the company has released the latest iteration of the Pixel smartphone. Watch this story to find out what's new in the phone and how good it is.
I'm excited to introduce you to the next evolution of AI in your hand. Google Pixel 8 Pro and Google Pixel 8.
Google has launched a new range of Pixel smartphones. Their USP is that they are infused with cutting-edge artificial intelligence technology. Google has beefed up the next-generation Pixel phones with its latest mobile processor, Tensor G3. The new Google custom chip has more AI and machine learning capabilities. The AI features can help with summarizing web pages, writing captions about photos, and blocking out spam calls. One of the main selling points of the new phones will be improved cameras. They have been upgraded with more AI-empowered editing tools. The AI features will be able to spruce up photos, zoom into certain parts of images, substitute faces taken from other pictures in group shots, and erase objects and people from images.
Wow.
Most of these camera-centric features will be available on the Pixel 8 Pro.
In a major breakthrough for mobile computing, Pixel 8 Pro will be the first smartphone to have a custom generative AI image model on device. Our newest feature building on this will be Zoom Enhance. When you pinch in, Zoom Enhance can intelligently sharpen and enhance the details of your images so you can get closer than ever, even when you forget to zoom. It's an incredible application of generative AI, opening up a range of possibilities for framing and editing your images.
The Pixel 8 Pro will also be able to take people's temperatures, an addition that could be a drawing card in a post-pandemic era as various strains of COVID-19 evolve. But Google is still trying to get regulatory approval to enable that capability in the US. Prices for the Pixel 8 start at $699. The Pixel 8 Pro costs $999 onwards. The phones will be available from October 12th. It's important to note that despite generally getting positive reviews, the Pixel phones have barely made a dent in a market dominated by Samsung and Apple. But interestingly, they have been gaining slightly more traction in recent years. The latest updates could make new Pixel phones more attractive to buyers.
Up next, we show you an innovative device that could help rehabilitate stroke survivors. How? By turning their thoughts into actions. Watch it for yourself.
Meet Oswald Reedus. 68-year-old suffered a stroke in September of 2014. It paralyzed his left side. He lost the ability to speak, walk, and move his left arm.
In 2014, September 30th, around 3 o'clock in the morning, my wife said I was talking out of my head, and she woke me up, and she said, move your arm, and I couldn't move my arm, and I was thinking that, like everyone else, my arm was asleep.
After years of therapy, he can talk again, but his motor skills are limited. He has limited mobility in his left arm and uses a brace on his left leg to walk.
I walk with a limp and a cane. I can't go into my backyard without my brace on. And I can't do anything like normal men do, like changing the air filter in my AC unit, standing on the ladder. I can't do anything, any of that anymore.
It seems technology could prove to be extremely useful for him. 9 years later, he's using a robotic arm that can be controlled using a brain-reading headset. Reedus is hoping this technology will help him recover the use of his arm. Look at how this high-tech system works. This portable headset is called a brain-computer interface. Its 5 electrodes rest on the wearer's scalp. They measure the brain's electrical impulses, also called brain waves. When the headset detects that Reedus wants to move his arm, it triggers a command for a connected robotic arm to move.
Good job.
Note that the robotic limb moves, but not entirely. The user is required to make an effort with his own arm to complete the motion. Now, those calls and responses between the brain, the body, and robotic movement help rewire a stroke victim's brain to gradually regain control of their limb. This process is called neuroplasticity.
The headset detects the movement intent, and that top-down signal goes to the robot to assist with the movement, and in return, the movement generates feedback back to the brain. And when you have top-down information meeting within a time window, bottom-up information, that leads to neuroplasticity or heavy learning. And that's what changes the brain. That's what leads to neurorehabilitation.
According to the University of Houston, Reedus is the first person in the whole world to make use of what might become a novel medical device at home. Designed by the University of Houston and TIRR Memorial Hermann Hospital in Texas, the device is a long way from falling into the hands of consumers. The headset's lead designer hopes that the headset will cost about the price of a new computer. This technology is undergoing clinical trials at the moment. The team behind the device is still in the testing and fundraising stages of development. They hope to raise enough money for a larger clinical trial and eventually apply for FDA approval. The headset, which is connected to an exoskeleton or robotic arm, could provide an at-home option for stroke rehabilitation.
On Take It Out, we keep bringing you updates from the world of robotics. Up next, we show you a giant robot that could prove to be of help in many situations. Here is more.
Robots are revolutionizing various industries around the world. You may have seen them in different shapes and sizes.
Well, as a robot CEO, I don't really have weekends.
I will be working alongside humans to provide assistance and support.
Now, this gigantic robot is a new entrant. Tokyo-based startup Tsubame Industries has spent the past 2 years developing this 15-feet, four-wheeled robot. It has a passing resemblance to Mobile Suit Gundam from the widely popular Japanese animation series. Called Archax, this humongous robot costs $3 million. Now, an obvious question here is, what does it do? The robot has cockpit monitors that receive images from cameras hooked up to the exterior. This can help the pilot maneuver arms and hands with joysticks from inside its torso. The robot has two modes, the upright robot mode and a vehicle mode, in which it can travel at up to 10 kilometers per hour. The company behind the robot plans to build and sell 5 such machines as a toy for well-heeled robot fans. Also, the company hopes that these robots could one day be used for disaster relief or in the space industry.
It could be used at disaster relief sites and eventually for work in space. We would like to develop a multi-purpose work equipment where a single robot can perform multiple tasks at sites where only a limited number can be used.
The robot, which looks like something out of a science fiction film, will be unveiled at the Japan Mobility Show in late October.
The United States has issued its first ever fine for space junk. We now have the world's first AI-powered grill. The week gone by was buzzing with a lot of exciting tech developments, and we bring you the most interesting ones in a tech wrap.
If you don't want to see ads on your Instagram or Facebook feeds, you may have to spend some dollars. According to a report, Meta is planning to introduce ad-free subscription plans for Instagram and Facebook users. Initially, the paid model will be available only for users in Europe. The company wants to charge users about $10 a month to use Instagram or Facebook without ads on desktop browsers. Prices for mobiles would be slightly higher. On mobile devices, the price for a single account would be around $14. This is because Meta needs to account for commissions charged by Apple and Google app stores on in-app payments. The plan is an attempt by Meta to comply with European Union regulations that threaten to curb its ability to personalize ads for users without their consent and hurt its major revenue source. Meta is hoping to roll out paid subscriptions in the coming months. It's not clear if EU regulators will sign off on the plan or insist that the company offer cheaper versions. This is the world's first AI-powered grill. Designed by an Aston University engineering graduate, the device is called Perfecta. It can cook steak in less than 3 minutes. Not just steak, the grill can also cook more than 50 types of dishes. It is said to be up to 10 times faster than conventional cooking. Interestingly, it cooks from both sides, which means no flipping required. The device is powered by neural fire technology, which is AI combined with smart sensors and a proprietary cooking system. AI calculates the time needed to cook the food based on size, surface area, and fat content, and the burners adapt as needed. It is priced at $3,500. Many companies are integrating AI into their products. Now, LinkedIn is tapping AI to make it easier for firms to find job candidates. LinkedIn says that it will add artificial intelligence features to its core businesses. The new AI features will allow recruiters to find job candidates by asking questions in natural language. Traditionally, users search LinkedIn's database by using data filters, keywords, and other search engine techniques. It's essentially translating a natural query like "I want to hire a software developer with 10 years of experience in Minneapolis" into language that LinkedIn's database can understand. The social network for business professionals has been using technology from OpenAI to develop these new features. Some of the features will definitely automate parts of the users' jobs, but it remains to be seen how useful and effective these new features would turn out to be. US authorities have issued their first ever fine over space debris. The Federal Communications Commission has fined Dish Network $150,000 for failing to properly dispose of a satellite. We understand that space junk is made up of bits of tech that are in orbit around the Earth. Also referred to as space debris, they include things like old satellites and parts of spacecraft, but they are no longer in use, which means they clutter orbits used for human spaceflight and can risk collisions. According to authorities, Dish, a US satellite television provider, was meant to move the satellite 300 kilometers further from Earth. But at the end of its life in 2022, it had moved it only 122 kilometers. This fine marks a first in space debris enforcement by the Federal Communications Commission, which has stepped up its satellite policy efforts.
Well, that's all we have for you in this episode of Tech It Out. We will continue to bring you exciting inventions and updates on the latest gadgets. I will be back soon. Until then, keep watching WION World is One. And yes, don't forget to follow us on social media. For now, it's me, Ankit Oteja, signing off.